Hi, my name is Kieran Nicholson and I'm an apprentice at Innovia Films.
Hi, I'm Dan Hickman and I'm also an apprentice at Innovia Films. This short video clip is an interview with colleagues asking them about their experiences as an apprentice.
We are part of the Brathay Apprentice Challenge 2014 for Innovia Films.
Hi, what's your name and what is your job title?
Aidan Harrison, and I'm an electrical engineer apprentice.
Okay, Martin Cockcroft. I work in R&D as a viscous expert.
I'm called Carl Bowen, I'm an electrical engineer in charge hand.
My name's Andrew Austin, I'm a global network and desktop administrator.
How did you find out about apprenticeships?
At first I found out at school when you do what you want to do when you leave school and everything. Apprenticeships were noted then, but a lot of my friends have done apprenticeships, so that's where I heard about them.
How did you find out about apprenticeships?
I was at school, went to Trinity School in Carlisle, coming up towards the end of my GCSEs, and it was the old training manager, I think a guy called Greg Ross at the time, came and did a presentation about the company and sort of presented the apprenticeship scheme. Sounded like a good idea, so I applied.
How did you find out about apprenticeships?
I would say most of it by myself, to be honest. Back when I was leaving school, it wasn't something that was really promoted a lot in Nelson Top. I'd probably like more information about it when I was 16 rather than going into doing my A-levels. In the end I ended up coming down being an apprentice after I'd done my A-levels at 18.
Why did you choose an apprenticeship?
Because I put it up against the university option, and it just seemed more beneficial to me. Obviously, you get the trade qualification as well as your physical qualification, and obviously the experience that you get, be it hands-on, and also you get quite a lot of life experience out of it as well.
Why did you choose an apprenticeship?
University didn't really appeal to us that much, to be honest. I wanted to get out there, start earning a living. I also recognised that I probably didn't have enough qualifications with what I had leaving at A-level, so I wanted to continue learning at the same time, and the apprenticeship seemed the best course to go down to do both of those options.
Why did you choose an apprenticeship?
That's a complicated answer, but I guess I was sort of new to the area. I wasn't born around here, I was born in Derby, so I just sort of started school, so I wasn't really sort of clear of what my best option was sort of locally, whether it was A-levels or college or something like that. Obviously when the presentation was sort of made to us by UCB at the time, that sounded like quite a good option. You got paid, and you got the works experience at the same time, and also all your academic sort of qualifications. So that seemed sort of like a good chance.
Why did you choose an apprenticeship?
I was never really one for just sitting at college or going to uni. I was always more, I wanted to do a hands-on thing, and the apprenticeship for me was ideal because you got to do both. You got your qualifications, but there's more work-based, plus getting paid for learning was always a good thing.
How did you apply for an apprenticeship?
I just got in touch with Gen 2, got an application form, said what I wanted to do. I wanted to do electrical work and just applied from there.
How did you apply for an apprenticeship?
Just got my application form as sort of instructed by sort of UCB, put that in, and then we had to do an aptitude test, so you sort of sat a bit of an exam and waited for the results.
What was the training process and what things did you do?
The training process is run by Gen 2, obviously the outside company that trains apprentices for your first year off-site, and then after that back on into your company, and they track your MVQ progress throughout the rest of your apprenticeship.
What was the training process and what things did you do?
Right, the training process was a combination of work and college, as it probably still is, but back then it was more of a case you went on like block release to college. So I got to college for, I can't remember exactly, but it was something like 10 to 12 weeks at a time, and then you'd come back to work for a few weeks and then you'd go off again. And as you went through that process over the years, it sort of diminished. So like the second year you spent more time at work, less at college. So you got to like your fourth year and you were doing like a day release college and 4 days at work. So it was strange at first, because like I say, you spent more time at college than you did at work, even though you were fully paid apprentice.
Are you pleased you're doing an apprenticeship?
Yeah, I mean, it's benefited me more than one way. As I say, I've got many qualifications from doing it, as well as all the experience I've gained from the Brathay experience, and other projects that I've done throughout my apprenticeship.
Are you pleased you're doing an apprenticeship?
Yeah, it's got us where I am now. It's definitely the best route that I would have went for to get where I am.
What would you do differently if you had the chance?
I don't know if there is anything I'd do differently, really. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be part of, as I say, the Brathay Challenge last year. I've had a lot of experience in a couple of different positions throughout my apprenticeship, so I'm pretty happy with things.
What would I do differently? That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, fairly happy with everything that sort of went on. Probably could have sort of took my academic sort of qualifications a little bit further. Obviously, like the company UCB and Innovia always sort of support that. So that's probably something I wish I'd done more. But there's always that opportunity to continue to do that. So yeah.
What would you do differently if you had the chance?
Not a lot regarding the apprenticeship, to be honest. I've got the qualifications that I wanted, and I think anyone would say if they could go back, maybe just try a little bit harder, I suppose, and maybe get a bit more out of it than you did.
What advice could you give to young people about apprenticeships?
Just to give them a chance, to research them, find out more about them, make sure they've got all the information about apprenticeships in the same way that you get the information about universities. Just so you've got a good comparison and it's the best choice for you.
You were part of the Brathay Apprentice Challenge winning team last year. What advice could you give to the 2014 team?
Try really hard. It's a long process. It takes a lot of work and a lot of commitment. But as we showed last year, it can be done. You just got to play your team strengths really and try and just meet the criteria that we're looking for.
What advice could you give to young people about apprenticeships?
Okay. First of all, it's not an easy option. I think a lot of people maybe look at that and think we're going to go get paid, and obviously you've not got you're not constantly in college and university or school, so you've got to do a lot of the learning on your own time, and I don't think people realise that, and certainly that sort of struck me in the first few years. It wasn't a soft option. I think it's a rewarding one, as you probably see yourselves, but but you've really got to work, and you've got to be prepared to put a lot of your own effort in. But at the end of it, you do get you get all the work experience. You get to learn a bit about sort of being involved in work. You get to learn, work with a lot of people that have got a lot of knowledge. So at the end of it, I think you come out quite strong. But yeah, hard work.
What advice would you give to young people about apprenticeships?
I definitely consider them. For me, it's the best option. You're getting your learning base, but then you're also getting paid, and you've also got a chance of getting a job at the end of it, which ultimately is the goal that you're aiming for. So I definitely consider it.
What advice could you give to young people about apprenticeships?
Apprenticeship, they're definitely a good thing. Anyone who thinks that to get somewhere like you've got to go to university, that's the only way you're going to get those further education qualifications. It just isn't the case. Obviously, the apprenticeship gives you that opportunity as well, but it also gets your foot in the door with an organisation. You can get yourself noticed, and hopefully there'll be a job there at the end of it. And as well as getting those qualifications, you gain work experience as well, so you can put those things that you learn into practice. There's a lot of people who come from university, they've not really got any work experience in that field that they obviously want to go in.
Thank you.
All right, cheers.